Hello, besties. How are you guys today? It's Black Friday. It's the day after Thanksgiving. I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. I actually had an amazing one because my mother-in-law had a friend over and she is a Bravoholic. I didn't know. So for my surprise, I got to sit down with her and talk about all things Bravo and BravoCon. Literally, that was the first question that she made when she walked through the door. She's like, Eddie, I heard you went to BravoCon. Tell me all about it. So my Thanksgiving was all about Bravo. And like I always say, everything leads to Bravo somehow. And with that said, I have an amazing guest. For today's episode, I have the Real Housebears and Hunter, Hotter, and Papa the Bear. If you are watching Salt Lake City, you know who I'm talking about. They are the master magics behind Heather Gay's choir. So, with that said, welcome to the stage, the Real Housebears. Hi, you guys.
Hello.
I'm so happy to have you guys here today. Oh my gosh.
We're happy to be
so
here.
excited to be with you.
So obviously we have to talk about the choir because the choir is what's making the rounds on the internet. And honestly, I want to know how you guys feel about it because when you are filming a show, you have no idea how the audience is gonna react. So tell me all about it.
Well, and you don't know how it's going to be edited.
Yeah.
That's the important thing right there. So Heather and I have been talking about this choir for years and years. This is not something that was just made up for season 3. This is something that pretty much as long as we've known each other, we've been talking about. It just so happened that the timing was right to do it while she was filming for season 3.
So so this is brand new information because what people say online is that Heather was trying to like get any idea for the show and she decided to go with a choir. But you are confirming here today that this is something that's been happening for years and now it's solidified.
Yes, we met Heather and Dre back in 2020, 2021, somewhere around
Probably
there.
2020.
So we started our podcast right after Salt Lake City premiered, which was November of 2020.
Yeah.
Yes.
We were on our honeymoon in Cabo San Lucas, and we literally watched the episode next to the pool, and we were like, "Oh my god, we have to talk about the show."
Yeah. So that's how we started our podcast.
Literally from the living room of our condo during our honeymoon.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So Hunter actually had a friend who was able to secure the email addresses of all housewives, not just Salt Lake City, but like all of them. So he reached out to all of the Salt Lake City housewives, and Heather was the only one to respond with, "Yes, we would love to meet you and we would love to do your podcast."
Yeah.
So, so we went down to Beauty Lab, so nervous we could barely stand ourselves. It was
the first housewife we were gonna meet, and it was Heather Gay. She was the fan favorite right away.
And our favorite.
And
right
our favorite.
Away. So we went to Beauty Lab and met Heather and Dre and had the most wonderful time.
Yeah, we stayed there for hours just talking with them, and we ended up going out to karaoke with them the next week.
Well, no, literally within the next few days was the season finale of season 1, and she invited us to the season finale party at Beauty Lab.
Yep.
Oh my! So basically, you guys became bestie with Heather through an email, and the first time you got meet Heather, it's like come to our party and you'll be part of the family. I love that story.
Love at first sight. And then, as luck would have it, they recorded the first podcast, and something was wrong with the sound equipment, and we had to do it over again.
Yeah.
So we were like forced to hang out again, which we were, obviously thrilled about. And then we've been, besties ever since. Heather, we still have choir practice. Heather comes to every choir practice almost. Dre is our other co-founder, and she's at every rehearsal. And we see them socially. I just had my 50th birthday two weekends ago, and Heather and Dre were there for that. So like we've become real legitimate friends. But since the very beginning, like I said, we've talked about this choir.
Oh my gosh. I'm happy that this is like a real story for Heather. This is not just created for the show,
Absolutely not.
because a lot of housewives have this like idea that to stay on the show they have to like come up with like something to like you know to stay on it. And can I ask you guys a favor? Now I got you guys here. Can you please tell Heather to refollow me on Twitter? I I think she will follow me because I said that having a choir is really random, but I didn't mean it in a bad way. Like Heather, it wasn't in a bad way.
Well, listen,
But
you're
yeah,
one of
I
thousands of
honestly,
people.
honestly, Salt Lake City is one of those franchises like that you can literally hate and love all the housewives at the same time. Like I
Crazy.
appreciate every single one of them
Mhm.
for what they bring to the table. You know?
Yes, we feel the exact same way. I mean, it doesn't hurt that we have real friendships with some of them, or at least have spent quality time
with them.
with the Craig cast, all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Not
Yeah,
only
and
do we hang out with Heather, regularly, but we had Whitney and Justin on our podcast, and we became fast friends with them.
Yeah, we spent 4 hours with them just hanging out in the back of their house, just talking by the hot tub.
I mean, it doesn't hurt that you guys live in Salt Lake City.
No, we've only lived here for 4 years, and Salt Lake City has been really, really good to us.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you guys from originally? Like,
When I was a real choir director, I was in South Carolina for 21 years, and
oh
I
wow,
was a choir director there the entire
Hunter.
time.
What about you?
I'm from Reno, Nevada.
Oh, like yeah.
So I've been to Utah a bunch throughout my childhood and stuff. So it's actually definitely become home now. I like it a lot better than Reno.
And we lived in South Carolina together for several years too before we moved here.
Yeah.
Oh wow. I mean, I lived in Vegas for 6 months. Biggest mistake of my life.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
And it was because I met someone in New York City. I'm from New York City, and I moved to Vegas for somebody. It didn't work out. It was the worst mistake of my life. Plus, Vegas didn't have anything besides the strip. So moving back to the East Coast was like refreshing, and I can't see myself anywhere else.
I get it. And New York City we love New York City.
Yeah.
And well, now tell me, besides Heather and the choir, what else? I mean, who else you know, Whitney, Heather. Who else you have spent time with?
All of them.
We're good friends with Jen Shaw. She FaceTimes us, and she is our mama bear.
She calls herself Mama Bear. Yeah. Jen Shaw we met Jen Shaw for Hunter's birthday. Heather surprised us. She had just filmed with Jen Shaw. It was actually the scene from season 2 when Jen Shaw brought all of those sex toys over to Heather's house. After they filmed that scene, Heather surprised us and brought Jen Shaw to meet us for Hunter's birthday. But then Heather had to leave for something and just left Jen Shaw with us and we hung out with her for a while. And we ended up taking her back to Heather's house. And this season, when Heather said, one night Corey and I were around my house playing the piano, and I remembered how much I missed making music, it was that night. We went back to Heather's house, and we were playing piano and singing around, and Jen Shaw was dancing around the living room.
If you look at our Instagram profile, you can see a video of them singing and playing the piano and Jen Shaw dancing around the room. It's really funny.
And that was also the night that Jen Shaw took a weird Uber home and then got out of the Uber and got another ride.
So that's the night.
Yeah. So it's like 2 degrees of housewives with us. 1 degree of housewife, actually.
I mean, you guys are involved in the biggest dramas so far. You guys are involved in the choir. That is basically where all the drama is happening currently. And you were also somehow connected to that taxi cart ride that it was like explosive news for a while.
Yes, it's wild to see it on TV. And, we were always just like, we're almost there. We're almost there. We're just like involved in the plot line.
We're going to be friends in a matter of time.
That's right. Honestly, you guys, if anyone deserves to be a friend of, it's you guys. We need official gay friends of the housewife. They had so many, and I never seen one. And I don't want to throw shade to any friend of, but some of those friend of do not deserve to be not even like this close to the housewife because they don't even have a real friendship.
Well, I do feel like this season you've got to know a little bit more about me than we've got to know about Dana so far.
I agree. It's shade, but it's true.
I mean, I don't even really mean it shady. They've really just barely put her on the screen. I have a feeling that there's going to be a lot of Dana coming up in the second half of the season, but they really haven't given her much attention so far this first half.
Yeah.
To be honest, I think you, Papa Bear, are the official friend of Heather because, I mean, I don't even know what Dana does. Like, who is Dana?
Exactly. Well, I'll tell you what she does. She has a hot husband, is what she does.
Oh, yeah, Sean.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one thing that I'm going to point out. This friend of have some hot husbands.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We love Hot Sean. But listen, we will all, Justin and Seth will always be very close to our hearts because when you meet them in person, they're so charming and so kind and handsome. Like it's when we met Seth and Meredith at the Equality Utah Gala and sat there and talked to them for quite a while. And like, to be honest with you, I don't know that Seth was as much on our radar before we met him, but after we met him, we're like, oh, Seth, we love you.
Yeah, he's a charmer.
Believe it or not, that happened to me with John Barlow. I met them. I met them at the. I went to that private party at the rooftop. The Jen Shah allegedly crashed.
Yeah.
So everybody was there, and I got to speak to most of the Bravo Labs, and I got to dance with Jen Shah. So now that you said that she was dancing, now I know that she loved to dance. She really loved to dance.
How much fun is Jen Shah?
I love her. When it comes down to like partying and like having a good time, she knows how to get down, and I love somebody who knows how to party.
It's wild. Like the Jen Shah train is real.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, and before that, I always been a little like Jen, like I know what you did, and I want to love you, but at the same time, when you meet them in person, you realize that there is more than what you know, and it's always good to give them an opportunity to like to meet them as who they are. So that's what happened to me when I met John Barlow. I love a tall man. And he is a tall glass of water.
We haven't seen John yet.
Yeah.
But we love Lisa Barlow. You know, it's controversial because Heather is not friends with Lisa Barlow nor Whitney at the moment, but we really love them both. Lisa Barlow is always very nice to us. She sent us a bottle of Vita tequila. She DMs us. We got to spend her sister that she's talking about this season, who's going through divorce. We sat and talked to her sister what felt like
for like an hour at least.
Yeah, we were at so Jenny Wynn from last season. Her daughter, Carlin, the real funny, cute daughter, she wrote a book.
Yes.
And so we went to her book signing, and it was like a week after we had Jenny on our podcast. So Heather was there, and that's the first time that we met Lisa Barlow.
Yeah.
And she was there with her sister that we've been talking about. And so while Lisa was taking pictures and being social, we sat there and talked to her sister, who is just lovely and sweet and beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
She's like a quiet version of Lisa.
I want to know, now you mentioned Lisa Barlow, how was that audition? Because that is going around on the internet and I'm telling you, when I say I absolutely love the dedication and how confident she looked on the screen about it. I'm here for it, so I want to know all the thing behind it.
Well, I think first of all, like Lisa owes Heather a thank you for the rest of her life because people are living for Lisa Barlow's singing right now. There are Christmas albums with like fake Christmas albums with Lisa Barlow.
Yeah.
So I will say in person, it didn't sound as bad as it sounded on television. I mean, it got a little bit pitchy.
But it's also being recorded from a little mic.
Yeah, and what people don't know is that Lisa actually did grow up singing. She did musical theater. I mean, of course, it wasn't a gorgeous take. I'm not going to say that it was perfect, but it was a lot better than people understand. And plus, another thing that people don't understand is there are actually 2 different versions of Away in the Manger. And so people were thinking that she was singing the completely wrong song. When actually she was just singing another version of Away in a Manger that does exist.
And you guys got to ask her a question on what should happen live. How crazy that was. I love it.
And she sang Away in a Manger again.
We got bumped your show, but she DM'd us, like I said, she's always so nice to us. She DM'd us right afterwards, and she's always just so nice to us and complimentary, and she always tells us that we're handsome.
She's very sweet.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I said before, when it comes down to Salt Lake City, every single one of them brings so much to the show that this is like one of those Bravo surprises. When Salt Lake City premiered, I did not know what I was getting into because I did not know anything about Salt Lake City.
Yeah. No one did. No one was prepared for how wacky it would be.
Yeah.
I always say this is a fever dream. Every single episode is a fever dream. Like there's so much going on that you don't even know. And like there's somebody like, you know, with the audition with the choir. Then you have Whitney with like her personal, you know, journey. And then you have Lisa versus Meredith. And then you have Jen Shah versus everybody else. It's like so much going on.
Yeah.
Jen Shah versus Angie Harrington in particular.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like that big scene at choir auditions where Jen Shah was yelling at Angie, that lasted for like an hour.
Shocked.
And it was not a 5-10 minute conversation that they showed on TV. It lasted like an hour.
Wow. So they were yelling at each other for an hour.
Yeah, Heather missed a lot of the auditions because of it.
Wow. Yeah, because they made it look, I mean, editing has a lot to do with how things are portrayed. So it made it look like they solved it like in 10 minutes. So no.
No, Jen Shah was, I mean, we missed a whole season or scene where Angie K came in and sang us, auditioned with a song that she wrote for Jen Shah, but Jen Shah wasn't in the room and they weren't going to bring her in the room because she was so mad outside. So Angie K was just like, let's bring Jen Shah back in here, otherwise my song won't make sense. And they're like, no, we're not bringing Jen Shah in here.
Like, no, you're not that important.
Not yet at least. Well, I mean, but we got to give Angie K some credit. She provided the home in the season premiere. She's providing the home in San Diego. She's practically Jen Shah's chauffeur.
She's trying.
Like she deserves some credit.
I agree. And when she first came on the show, the first episode with her, she came in hot. She came in ready. I mean, she was calling out everybody. Like she's like, Angie A. She was calling her out and her husband for the whole, troll account. And I like that in a friend of. I like when they come ready and prepare to face what is happening within the group.
Yeah, I mean, let's face it. If you're being cast as a friend of, your job is to fight for that snowflake.
Yeah, right. I don't know if you saw on TMZ last week of Jen Shah screaming in the streets with somebody. I want to say I think I saw Angie K.
It looked
screaming back
like
at her at some point. Like yeah, so I think Angie K was even a part of that big old fight.
That's not official. Like we were like, is that Angie K?
I need to really get that video and zoom in because that video has been going around and people are trying to figure out what happened because there is no reasoning behind it. So now they're saying that there was some gay slur happening. Somebody was being disrespectful or something.
I think that's probably what it
might have been because that night they were celebrating the opening of Club Verse, which is a new local gay bar here in Salt Lake City. So it was that night.
And Jen Shah was like there. She was she was promoting it and she was making a special appearance.
She was the host.
So she was out, partying up at the gay bar all night long and probably just had a few too many.
And I love that. I love when they get involved in, like, especially within our community, like, like seeing them actually going to gay bars and supporting the community, and not only in Salt Lake City, which, like, I don't know how the gay scene is there, but I mean, based on the environment, it seems to be like very, like, conservative or religious and stuff like that. So seeing people voicing support in that environment, to me, is important, and that's why I appreciate Jen Shah, because she seems to be really aware of social situations, like, racism and homophobia, and always being outspoken against it.
I would say all of the current cast is that way. Heather and Dre came to Gay Pride with us a year or two ago. Whitney, I went to one of her Pride celebrations that she hosted herself for Wild Rose Beauty.
And also Meredith and Whitney guest hosted for the Utah Equality.
So yeah, so I think they're all pretty much like that. Supporting. But our ultimate goal is we want to go to sorry to jump cities real quick. We want to go to Sonia Morgan's gay brunch that she has every weekend.
We need to get on our radar.
that when we get to make it to Sonia Morgan's gay brunch, we have really arrived.
That's right. I mean, Sonia Morgan is one of those people that knows how to partay.
Yes, man. Yes, Sonia Morgan. Yeah.
I saw her at BravoCon. I lived in the city for like 12 years, and you get to run into them here and there, whatever. But since Sonia hasn't been on New York for quite a while now, for a couple of years now, I saw her at BravoCon, and I was like, oh, Sonia Morgan is around and whatever. I don't know if she was drunk or she just was having a great time, but she was crawling on the floor. She was screaming. She was dancing. She was like going with her hair like this. She was having her moment, eating it and living it.
Isn't that what you want from Sonia Morgan, though?
Yeah.
Yes, that's what you want from pretty much every single housewife. Like we watch Housewife because we want that that kind of like over the top persona. We want that like energy when you walk into a room. Like I said, like going to that rooftop party, like you can tell that they just understand who they are. Like they are people who bring some happiness to other people, and they were there to have a good time. I got to speak to so many of them and ask them how they feel about the reception of the fans, and how how they feed from that energy. And all of them said like it's so overwhelming because we don't know how people react, because we don't interact with people one-on-one all the time. But being surrounded by them in these 3 days and see how they truly like how somehow we help them in bring some joy and happiness to their home, that's like crazy.
Yeah. When they tell their personal stories, the good, bad, and the ugly, there's Crystal Minkoff's eating disorder and Jackie's eating disorder, and what Whitney's going through right now. That's even I have a personal connection with her there. So,
and what Heather Gay is going through with leaving the church and starting her book.
What people don't understand about Salt Lake City is the state of Utah is very conservative, but Salt Lake City itself, right there, is wonderful. There's art, there's culture, it's multicultural. We have a gay community full of wonderful people, and Salt Lake City itself is really exciting. But as soon as you get in the outskirts, then it's again mostly conservative families.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to plan a trip to Salt Lake City because I've never been, and I have actually one of my best friends is from Salt Lake City, and I had never been.
It's gorgeous. To me, it's the most beautiful city in the country. I just love it here.
You have mountains. I mean,
that's
careful for the bears. Careful for the bears to hibernate.
Yes, well, that's part of the thing too.
Yeah, he woke up just for this podcast.
After this, back to my cave.
So, guys, which one was the first franchise you guys watched? Like, it was Salt Lake City, or you guys started watching it way before that?
I have been a Housewives lover since the beginning, since OC. I have never missed an episode of any Housewives except for Washington, D.C.
Oh, that was a mess.
I kind of boycotted. Well, I very much boycotted Washington D.C. because of Michelle Salahi, and I loved Barack Obama, and I hated that she crashed that White House situation. So I boycotted D.C. But I love all of the other cities. I've never missed a Dallas. I've never missed a Miami. I think though that Salt Lake City and Potomac are the two strongest casts.
Potomac is one strong cast. They definitely clocked in every episode and they get their paycheck because they deserve it.
Yeah, they do. But we only cover Salt Lake City, New Jersey, and Beverly Hills currently.
Just because of the rotation of the episodes, and whenever we're done with one season, we'll start on the next one.
But I think it might change. It might change because Beverly Hills has been postponed for a while.
So we might start a whole nother franchise.
That might be cool.
Yeah.
You should do Miami. It's coming out next month.
Well, we'll wait until Salt Lake City is over. When we, we really go into detail about every episode. We do a full hour-long podcast for each episode, so we really don't leave out too many details.
So doing more than one at a time is overwhelming.
Yeah, sometimes the cities will overlap. Like Salt Lake City will probably overlap a little bit with New Jersey, and we'll cover both at the same time, and we're just exhausted.
Yeah, and it's true. The scheduling of the franchises, they tend to go back to back. Like I said, like New Jersey, Beverly Hills, and Salt Lake City kind of like go back to back. Like one ends, the other one starts.
Yeah.
And you cover so much different Bravo TV. I don't know how you keep up with it all.
It's a full-time job.
Yeah.
That is not paying anything, by the way. So people don't think that this is paying the bills.
Right.
Same here.
But now his housewife story is completely different.
Okay, well, I was not into reality TV at all before I met him, but I
hated it.
Yeah. So actually, my gateway reality TV drug was actually Vanderpump Rules. I started like watching all the seasons, like from 1 through 5 or something in a row.
Yeah, a marathon was on.
And I was like, who are these kids? And it is so drama filled and insane. So that's how I kind of got into reality TV. But I would say my first Housewives franchise I really liked was Atlanta.
Oh, yeah.
Because I love Portia.
Oh, yeah, he loves some Portia Williams.
It's so crazy that you mentioned Vanderpump Rules because I'm a Beverly Hills guy. That's like my cup of tea. That's my love language. That's everything to me. So Vanderpump Rules just became kind of like that spin-off that you just love because, like you said, it's hot mess parade. Yeah. Every episode.
But you know what? We didn't watch the last season. Like Vanderpump Rules was in our top favorite shows, but we didn't watch we felt like most of the interesting people left the show.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta say you should watch it because the new season is promising. There's a lot of drama happening.
Okay. No, I'm interested.
There's a lot of switcheroo. There's a lot of switcheroo. The people like switching partners and stuff. So that's gonna be interesting. And one of my favorite people on planet Earth when it comes down to the Bravo universe is Ariana from Vanderpump Rules. Okay. We tweeted, we messaged for a long time on social media, and she was the first person that I sent like a DM after I got the BravoCon tickets, being like, hey, I'm going and I would like to meet you finally in person because we've been like, cyber friends or whatever you want to call it. So we met and was beyond. She was absolutely amazing, super friendly, and it's one of those people that like I saw her on TV for so many years, and like we tweeted back and forth when I'm like doing the reviews of the episodes and whatnot. So I will say I would recommend to at least like watch it real quick because the new season.
I'm interested in seeing that Katie and Tom break up.
Yeah,
I am interested in seeing that. But see, here's my issue with a lot of these reality TV shows that are not housewives. I hate the way that straight guys treat their girlfriends or the women that they're interested in. So that's why I won't watch like Summer House, Winter House. That's why I'm really struggling to continue to watch Southern Charm. But since I lived in South Carolina for so long, I still watch it. So the last guy that I really was remotely entertained by treating his girlfriend poorly was Jax.
I know.
So I was like, Jax left. I was like, I cannot watch any more straight guys be horrible to women. I just can't watch it anymore.
Yeah, it's toxic.
You know, like I know that everyone really loves Tom Schwartz. Even when we were hanging out with Whitney and Justin, they were talking about how much they love Tom Schwartz in person. And everyone loves Tom Schwartz, but he was a horrible partner to Katie. No wonder Katie was mad all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you think about it, I always say this. I think Katie and Tom are good people that just did not match together.
Oh,
And they were forcing this relationship for so long that I mean, as viewers, I think we got to see like okay, they are not a match. Why they're still together? So like a breakup. When I heard the breakup, I was like, okay, I saw this coming.
I was kind of like, hallelujah.
It was too. I'm surprised they lasted this long.
Yeah, they needed to. I don't ever root for anyone to divorce by any means. But once I found out that they were splitting up, I'm like, this will hopefully give them both a chance to breathe. Like they've just been suffocating each other for so long.
Yeah. So and it's sad. It's sad to stay in a relationship just to stay for the sake of staying in it.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've all done it. So it was hard to fault either of them for it either.
True. We I think a lot of us have been in that position.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But it's crazy how like you said, like it's hard to watch all the shows on Bravo, because I was just saying this recently. There's other shows on Bravo universe that don't have the opportunity to like grow because people are not watching it. Like I personally enjoyed that Girlfriends in Paris show. To me, it was funny. I love Family Karma. It's such a great show.
That's on my to-do list. I know that Heather really loves Family Karma also, and I've been hearing everyone, especially just today or yesterday on the radio, we were hearing about how it's really gotten so much better even since first season. So that's on my to-do list. But the issue is, like, he doesn't like to watch a lot of reality TV outside of what we cover. He will watch Housewives that we don't cover when I have it on, but in general, it's not when we're together, we're not watching a whole lot of reality TV. So it's mostly like when I travel for my real job, and so whenever I'm in a hotel, Bravo is on every minute that I'm in my hotel room. We both like to watch Below Deck when we travel. We don't watch it at home.
We don't religiously watch it, but whenever we're traveling, we always watch
Below Deck is always on.
Yeah.
Below Deck is always on.
Believe it or not, that's the only Bravo show that I have not gotten into, and everyone loves it. Everyone's like, watch it, and like, I'm really trying, but I can't get into it.
I got wrapped in with Kate Chastain in the beginning. Like she was, the chief stew, and she was amazing. And so she personally got me hooked in, and now and then I love, I love Captain Sandy from Mediterranean, and the new hot guy from Australia, and then Heather and Angie H are going to be on Adventures.
Yeah.
Wow.
Angie H, she's another one. Sorry to go everywhere, but we loved hanging out with Angie H also.
We like Angie H a lot.
When we went to that season 1 finale party at Beauty Lab, Angie came over from Whitney's. And so we didn't know who she was because she was on the show at that time. But we got to hang out with her, and she is another good time.
She's fun.
Yeah, she's a lot of fun. She showed up at this party without missing an earring.
She had like a long parrot earring, and she only had one in. And I was like, oh my gosh, I really love that just one earring. I think it's gonna be a trend and catch on. She's like, no, I just lost the other earring tonight. I was like, oh,
okay. She's like, okay, I'm just going with it.
Yeah.
But we get pretty genuinely excited every time we see all of them.
Mm-hmm.
That's such an amazing experience that you guys get to like meet these ladies out and about. You guys know them outside the show, and you can say, hey, they have a life outside the show that is interesting, that is real, that there's more than what you see, and it's hard sometimes for viewers to kind of like get that idea. They think that what they see on the show is what it is, and I'm like, that's literally hours and hours of film chopped into little pieces.
Yeah. But another thing that makes me surprised sometimes is they also don't believe that it's real. They either don't believe that it's real or they believe that's exactly who they are. There's no in between. Like, no one believes that this choir thing is real, but it is in fact a real thing. We're still rehearsing, we're still doing a thing. And then conversely, everyone will also think that Lisa Barlow is the woman who went on that rant at the end of last season, when she's so much more than that as well.
Yeah.
I mean, just like Jen Shaw is so much more than what she's going through right now. Mm-hmm. And so much more than the bad decisions that she allegedly made,
Yeah, reality TV honestly just gives a sliver of the biggest dramatic parts. So you don't get anything a medium or easy throughout the entire show. It's always the blow-ups. It's never anything that's in the middle that can connect everything.
That's true. And like you said, like, especially this season, I feel like, I don't know if it was because Mary left and Jenny was fired and all the stuff that happened at the beginning while they were filming. It feels like the editing is trying really hard to put the story together and by erasing them, erasing what happened. So it's hard for some viewers to follow the story because there's stuff that happened before that we know that might have happened that are not connecting now because they can use them because what happened before filming.
Oh yeah. I mean, they went on a cast trip like episode 2 or 3.
That's but in the beginning of this season, it started off with drama for the first 3 episodes, and I think that's because they didn't have any easy filming.
Well, they did film with Jenny before she got
but
fired.
They couldn't show it, so they had to go straight into the arguments and straight into the fights in Scottsdale.
Yeah,
true, very true. And honestly, like Salt Lake City as a franchise has been solid. Like, to me, it's a very solid franchise. And like, even with the hiccups that they had at the beginning with the with the social situation and Jenny and whatever, they actually got to capture a lot of drama. We're still talking about it, and we are on what episode? Getting into episode 9.
Yeah,
coming up, and it's gonna get dramatic because based on that mid-trailer season, crazy.
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be a pile up on Heather season, which we're not looking forward to looking to, but it does look action packed for sure. I think that Salt Lake City is one of the only cities that can really manage having a 5-person cast. When New York City only had 5 people, that was the worst season in Housewives history.
I mean, like Beverly Hills last season has a huge cast, but it's only 2 groups and it won't move or interact or intersect with them, and so it gets boring.
But I think that's going to change
with the new Beverly Hills.
Yeah, I hate to say this, controversial opinion, but I kind of want Lisa Rinna to come back because friendships have finally changed after like 3 seasons where everyone, this group versus this group. Now everything has changed. Lisa Rinna, Kyle's mad at Lisa Rinna, and maybe even Erica. So finally, we would get a different show.
A mean girl that is on the out.
Well, she's going to have Erica by her side. So
I just love that you guys are in 2 different. I love it. I'm just enjoying the mini drama that is happening.
Yeah. He would be happy if Lisa Rinna never came back.
I am not a fan of Lisa Rinna. She rubbed me the wrong way that last season.
Oh, I didn't say I liked her. I think it'll be good to see a new dynamic on the show.
But you like her enough to keep her on the show.
I mean, she's crazy. She's crazy.
Yeah, I'm on team fire Lisa Rinna, but I the only reason why I would like Lisa to be on pause, I'm gonna say on pause, like Dorinda will say. Yeah. We are on pause for one reason. I think Lisa Rinna has run out of idea how to be a villain because she likes to play the controversial character on the show because people are gonna be talking about her. But she got to the point where we are exhausted from it.
Oh my gosh! Yes,
exhausted mentally, physically, and I say this in many episodes on my podcast. Andy, I'm going to send my therapist bill because I've been going to therapy to relieve from this stress from watching Beverly Hills.
Yes.
So honestly, like I would love to see Rena on pause
Okay.
for the fact that I would like to see Erica as Erica alone, not Erica and Rena.
Okay.
Because I know Erica is not my favorite character whatsoever. And I don't like that she's still working her way out and around to keep things from the victim and the whole mess that she got into because of her husband. But legal issues aside, she is to me the perfect Disney villain. She's like the Maleficent. She is Cruella. She is all these people in one body,
She
and I
has the
want to see
outfit.
her.
Yeah.
I want to see her as the villain, not just the sidekick of Lisa Rena's mess. And I want to see how she does.
Okay.
Mhm.
But I would actually like to see the likable version of Erica again. I miss old Erica that was likable. I mean,
I saw a good bit of her this last season when she was just drunk.
that's true. When she was like, "On a new girl," that was funny.
We love that.
That was funny.
When she was going around the yacht with her legs up and all.
Yeah. That's the Erica Jane I want. Let's just keep her drunk for a whole season.
Yeah, that was like my favorite quote of the entire season was her saying, "Go pee on the new girl."
Yes. And I mean, honestly, I don't feel bad for Diana, but I kind of feel bad for Diana because Diana was, to me, has every single ingredient to be a great housewife. But she did not know how to use those ingredients.
And she needs to show up to work too. I understand that she might have been still going through issues with her miscarriage and some other health issues, but I feel like a lot of times she just didn't show up to work.
Yeah, and also she doesn't have very thick skin because everything people were saying about her, she would sue. So like she was not a good person to like let herself be free on camera.
But I'm willing to give her another season. I'm willing to give her let's see who she really is and what she can really bring, other than just being mean to Sutton.
Because she brings the money to Beverly Hills.
Yeah, that's what I want. She's got that Lisa Vanderpump type of wealth.
That's what we're missing in Beverly Hills. Like I told you guys before, Beverly Hills is the franchise that I love. And it makes me really sad to see how it's going.
Yeah.
Because even though it's the higher rating franchise, it's a struggle to watch. It's like hate watching at this point. And
yes,
right. And just because again, not a lot has changed. It's still the same, same groups of friends. There really hasn't been anything kind of new and interesting other than the addition of Kathy Hilton. But now we all kind of hate that because it went so south.
Yes, and that is true, and that's one thing that Salt Lake City has hit the nail on right now: the ability of switching friendships, the ability to understand the dynamic in the group, that you can't stay friends with the same person forever unless it's a friendship that seems organic. And friendships, you're gonna argue with your friends, you're gonna be mad at your friends sometimes, and it's okay to show those. Like in Beverly Hills, this freaking 4 Fox 5 alliance since season 9 is exhausting.
I didn't like it.
Well, it's gone now.
Did you guys see when I mean, obviously I'm pretty sure that's gonna be like a quick like half an hour part of the episode when Erica said that the next couple to break up is Dorit and PK, and I'm like, this shade that have been thrown between each other is giving me drama.
Yeah, and then Erica's like, "What? You didn't think I was kidding?" And I was like, "Girl, you wouldn't have said that.
You weren't kidding."
She didn't ask it a beat.
No,
she answered, and the way that she answered, she went in the middle of the stage and she all giggly said, "Dorit and PK, I said what I said." And she turned around and went back to her seat. You're not joking, girl. We know that body language was telling everything we needed to know.
Yeah, absolutely, no question about that.
Are you guys planning to go to any BravoCon in the future?
We're hopeful that next year Heather might bring us as guests. So
yes,
we haven't asked her, ever brought up to her, but
yeah. We're hopeful.
This year, I'm manifesting this for you guys. I'm manifesting it because I would love to meet you guys in person. You guys are so fun.
Absolutely. Yes. And people have been very kind to us on social media. And the only negative comments have been, "What's this choir thing?" But generally, people are very kind to both of us, having seen us on the show and have reached out.
We've been talked about on a couple podcasts and different shows, and they all say the hot choir director daddy, and then the mustache man.
Hey, those are really good descriptions.
Yeah, I didn't have any lines, but I was in the background a bunch.
Listen, I was convinced that I was going to be cut out of the whole season. I was convinced that you would not even see me this whole season, and I can't explain why. We'll talk about it again once we get towards the finale. But I was like, there's no way that I'm going to make it on the show. And so to not only make it on the show, but have some dialogue
and just say the joke right away, sold.
that was the best thing I've ever said.
Oh my God.
Other than I do. Him and him were the most important words I've ever said.
Oh my gosh. And I have a question before I let you guys go. I want to keep you guys here for too long. Unless you guys I can go for hours if you want to.
We need to get to Beauty Lab and get some of those Black Friday sales.
Yeah.
That's right. And if you go to Beauty Lab, send me a picture. I want to see the inside. I haven't been able to see the inside of Beauty Lab, and I'm really excited to see what's happening.
Check out our Instagram. We've got all kinds of pictures in there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But I can also send you pictures as well.
Yes. Get me in the whole Salt Lake City mix. I would love that.
For my birthday, we had a Sprinter van. And so we stopped at the Beauty Lab parking lot and took pictures with our Sprinter van in front of Beauty Lab where Jen Shaw got.
Yeah.
Honestly, every time that I see a van on any franchise, I know that the scene is gonna snap and it's gonna be good.
No, I told Heather, I was like, y'all need to quit taking Sprinter vans anywhere. You just fly whatever it takes. It's not good for your health.
Oh my gosh. That scene last season was shocking.
Ooh, shocking.
I had goosebumps. It was like watching a movie. It was bizarre. It was crazy.
So many questions came up, and like, what's going on?
Lisa Barlow calling 6 lawyers.
Yeah.
and honestly, I used to be I still am in this clubhouse group where we used to like talk about housewives like here and there whenever we had the time last year. Not so much this year because life got busy, but when that happened, people were like, "Oh my gosh, like who calls 6 or 7 lawyers?" I'm like, trust me, I would if I was in that position and I had the means and the access. Right. Because if I see the feds knocking the door at my van, I'm gonna freak the fuck out.
Yeah, true, fair. Yeah, absolutely. And plus, it just makes good TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was amazing. I still remember the editing of that scene was even better because they cut to number 2, number 3, number 4, and goes.
No, I love the editing of our choir rehearsal last week when Heather and Lisa were arguing and we were doing our warm-ups. Oh my gosh. I laughed so hard at that. I mean, I was cackling.
It was like cinematic magic because
it was
like you guys singing.
Yes, it was amazing. And then Hunter got to make his television debut, so we were just like,
yeah, we're excited. Last episode.
We didn't hear a word they said for a while until we watched it like the second or third time.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys need to like print out pictures of like screenshots of you guys in the episode and frame it in your house because those are heavy hitters right there.
Yes,
you are right about that. I'm gonna actually have to do that.
Yeah, we need to get shirts that say "As seen on TV, Real Housewives Salt Lake City."
Yes.
And him.
Yeah, that scene when you did that, I died. I literally dropped to the floor and I started laughing because that was so funny. I was like, "That's me too."
I'm just so glad I said it. I just
It
said
was
laugh.
like perfect TV moment, and you both got, you guys have like that like really awesome personality that like I'm like, people who are listening to the podcast right now can see you guys, but if you're watching on YouTube, you can see the energy how like translate on camera, and you guys have that magic. And
Aw.
I'm here manifesting. And once again, Andy, if you're listening, they deserve the French of position more than other people on that show.
We'll take
Just
it.
saying.
We'll take it. We'll take it. Absolutely.
Guys, any last words before we go?
Hey, just thank you so much for having us. It
Yeah.
was so nice to get to chat with you. We've been listening to your podcast ever since you reached out to us. So it was great to finally be on here with you, and hopefully we get to do it again.
Yeah, let's definitely do it again. I know you mentioned that towards the end there's more drama and you are kind of involved in it or something going on towards the end.
We'll see what that means.
We will see what that means, and when that happens, I hope I get the exclusive interview once again.
Probably have more now. Just send a text.
Okay, guys, thank you so much for coming. It was a pleasure, and let's keep in touch. Hopefully, I get to go to Salt Lake City or meet you guys at BravoCon 2023 if it happens, because Bravo content creators. We are a very close niche, and I'm so happy that we got to meet this way. It was amazing, you guys.
It was our pleasure. Thank you so much for
Yes.
having us.
Okay, thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Okay, you guys. So that was the Real House Bears. We got to talk all things Salt Lake City. We talked Beverly Hills, and as you guys know, this is the part where I say, go and check their podcast, the Real House Bear podcast. Go to their Instagram, go to their Twitter. They're amazing. They're funny, and once again, they deserve that. Snowflake. It's time for a official gay friend of a housewife. So let's do that, Andy. Let's do that, and go check the podcast version. Subscribe to YouTube, like the post on Facebook, on Twitter, Instagram, and yeah, that's it for today, you guys. Thank you so much, and bye, besties.